Good morning, young viewers. I welcome you to this video session. Today I would like to talk about a positive human emotional intelligence. It's really interesting. So far I have explained to you in a theoretical way. Today I would like to give some experiences so that you can understand how you have to behave and how you have to maintain emotional intelligence even in your lives. So for this, first I would like to speak about an anecdote from Abdul Kalam's life. You know well about Abdul Kalam. Kalam was a great scientist and also called Missile Man of India. And he was the leader in Indian Space Research Organization for launching satellites. Once he designed a satellite and they wanted to launch to the space. It so happened that day the satellite could not enter the orbit. All of a sudden, before their eyes, the satellite collapsed and fell into the bay. The people who were around got perturbed and emotionally disturbed. All looked at one another. What was the reason? Later, they associated together to analyze the reason for their failure. Then Abdul Kalam stood up and said, with a lot of controlled emotions, I am responsible for this fault. That is his greatness and dareness, because to accept any guilt or any mistake, it is not such easy. All cannot do so. In the present day society, all would escape. But Abdul Kalam didn't do like that. He openly said, in fact, if you observe, he was not responsible. He would give only directions and other assistants, they should take care of the work. But here Kalam was very open to take up entire responsibility on his shoulder. By this you can understand how much emotional intelligence that Kalam exhibited in his lifetime. Next anecdote is about Sardar Patel, the Iron Man of India. One day he was arguing a case in a court. It was very serious and the situation was very grim in the court. All were silent and Patel was arguing the case in a beautiful manner and the judge was staring at him with a lot of concentration. Suddenly, there was a telegram to Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel opened it and looked at it. After that, he kept it in his pocket and continued his argument. He argued in such a way that without any disturbance, without any emotional perturbance, he took up the case very nicely and successfully completed. And all wondered at it and all clapped for his fine composure. While leaving the court, his assistant asked a question. What, master, what we have received? You tell me. Then he opened the telegram and showed to him, telling that my wife is no more. Here you can observe that in such serious situation, any family problem would create a lot of waves. But Patel was not victim to that. He kept quiet and controlled his emotions with his intelligence and successfully, victoriously triumphed the case. That is the greatness of emotional intelligence. Next, I take up an anecdote from Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda, after getting good name and fame in Parliament of Religions in 1893, he kept on staying in America, giving lot of lectures and delivering lot of discourses to the people of America about Indian culture. One day in Connecticut, he came out around 6 o'clock and is standing under the tree. A beautiful American lady came forward and said frankly, Swamiji, I love you so much. Swamiji replied, yes, I love you too as my mother. Then that young lady reacted, what is this? My love is different. My expression is different. My emotion is different. Even then Swamiji said, in India we have a good tradition. We call our sisters mothers. Even other women we call mothers. You are also like that. I love you as my mother. Repeatedly he said. that lady could not argue further, and whatever he had, negative emotion, whatever she had, so-called negative emotions, all died away. She said, "I am sorry," and bowed his head, touched his feet and left the place. That is the greatness of emotional intelligence of Swami Vivekananda. Another anecdote is about Buddha. You know, Buddha was a great saint and he was a mendicant. During his journey to one place to another, he stood before a door. A gentleman came out and asked, "What for you have come?" Buddha asked for alms. Then that man became angry and reacted sharply that you people, even though you are sturdy and you are able to work, even then you move freely begging alms. Why can't you do some work so that you can earn money and food? But Swami Buddha didn't move an inch. He exhibited maximum composure and encouragement before him. Then that man continued, enraged, and hurled very bad words. Even then Buddha kept quiet. After some time, the gentleman became something different and asked, "What? You have not moved for my words? What really in you? Then what about my words? I have heard so many bad words. When you couldn't take it to heart, what will be?" Then Buddha silently said, "All words will be with you only." Then that man realized his mistake, realized his fault, and he came after Buddha and touched his feet, said, "I beg your pardon." So like that, so Buddha exhibited his emotional intelligence and he made even a vulgar man, even a man without knowledge, as a great devotee. That is the greatness of emotional intelligence. So in general, I would like to say even common people should maintain that emotional intelligence. Otherwise, our lives will be different. Especially in families, parents and children should have this emotional intelligence. Of course, children sometimes they do not have. At least parents should have that emotional intelligence. Then only their families would come out. Otherwise, it is very difficult to run. So, before concluding, what I would like to quote from John Milton's Paradise Lost. Mind is in its place, in itself can make heaven of hell or hell of heaven. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Goodbye.